My name, Chuck Platinum, from the BX, New York City, originally Lower East Side.
Yeah. Yeah. Yo, take notes of a musical composer, genius with the cleanest beats while y'all be posing. Beats and metaphors by law, I am the greatest. Compositions are made because I was hated. Yeah.
Make words rhyme.
Legend.
Clap on time now. You may have no knowledge.
Yo, E, we back at it again, baby.
Deep down inside of me.
Deep down inside. Yeah. Deuce. Yo.
My hip hop profession is, I do a little bit of everything in the game. My biggest thing is I'm a DJ and an artist, but I'm also a person who develops artists and, in all sorts of media in the hip hop game. Wow. My first experience with hip hop, I would say, was back in the 1980s. The 1980s, I would go back to about 1982 when I first heard Sucker MCs back in the day, listening to Run DMC. And when I heard Sucker MCs, I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to be a part of the culture. I wanted to wear my Adidas and everything. But then I discovered Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5, and I figured out that hip-hop originated from the Bronx. And when I found that out, it made me really proud. So I just used to get my pause tapes going on, listen to Marley Marl and all of them on the radio, Cool DJ, Red Alert, Mr. Magic on the radio. And I used to be a kid just, putting tapes together. And, that's how it all got started. And then when I heard Rakim, Rakim is who made me want to start rapping myself. I definitely could say that Rakim is definitely my favorite rapper. Top rapper of all time. Greatest rapper to me of all time.
Debated for a long time how the sun would shine, but you would never deny my grind. This is an automatic rewind. Even if you wanted to, couldn't bite the design. I'm a mastermind. No speed, just an ounce of weed. And I must see the faith that I would succeed. Making your ears bleed with hip-hop greatness. My fate in this game, I will be named as the greatest of all time. I designed this rhyme with Rakim, it came on my mind. Y'all niggas is blind. Fuck swag, I'm a miracle made from spiritual minerals. Mike Jack genius, smooth criminal. Subliminals never that. I'm the pinnacle of rap. On top of my game, lames hating on that. But that's okay, I'ma pop anyway. I am legend, apocalypse coming any day. Yes.
I first started rapping in 1990. I started out rapping with some brothers that was around my way. I was the little dude around the way. And they used to have these ciphers, and they used to be like, you the little dude, and I used to come in there and spit my little raps. But when I started getting serious about rap was 1992, when I met my brother P. Holla, and then we started the group Uptown Nation. So I would say I started doing rap professionally in 92, most definitely. Wow. Some of my other influences besides Rakim, I would say Public Enemy. There's so many in the game. Public Enemy, Run DMC. I'm trying to think of all the Mobb Deep, Wu-Tang Clan. Just thinking about all those people in that era. Big Daddy Kane, KRS-One, Boogie Down Productions, people like D Nice. People forget about that. Some of the female MCs in the game. Salt and Pepper. MC Light. I think MC Light is one of the greatest female MCs of all time. So I have many influences. My influences of hip hop, the early ages of hip hop though, the stuff that inspires you, the stuff that we still sing to this day, Nice and Smooth, different rappers like that. So those are definitely my influences right there. The struggle between being a DJ and a rapper, to me, there really is no struggle. Being that I started DJing first, it was a natural transition for me. I had to, first learn how to do one craft, because I started DJing when I was 9. So when I started DJing, I had a whole 3 years before I even started really getting serious about rapping. So it really wasn't no struggle. Back when I was doing it, nobody was really doing it like that. Only big major people was doing it. So it was unheard of. I was just fortunate that my father had his own equipment. So that's how I got into DJing. And then I had somebody who had their own studio. So that's how I got started rapping. So it really wasn't a struggle for me. For me, I would say that I was more or less kind of, somebody is, how you get married and you have prearranged marriage. I was kind of born into this, like made into this, into this game. So, it really wasn't no struggle, because once they had one talent and the other talent, we just kept doing it. We was kids, so we was trying everything. Word.
Yeah. It's only one of me, man. And y'all are not him. Dude and nobody. Yeah? Okay. Y'all ain't like me, no way. Y'all more than likely get on the stand and try to indict me. Load up the can, wanna like me. Probably once my man, now don't like me. I don't understand, my English broke. I quote, this is murder I wrote. Wanna apologize, but you missed your boat. No funny, I ain't tell no joke, I'm dead serious. Niggas can't eat no more. Won't get their kicks off me, I'm far from a sneaker store. Y'all lack talent, stay silent. I'm killing you niggas, black on black violence. Dude, yeah, that's what they call me. Dope man hit so deep, Chris Farley. Niggas trying to take my seat, Mick Romney, spots get blown.
How did I move out to branching past being an artist and a DJ? When Uptown Records sent me my first rejection letter back in '93. When we got our first rejection letter from Uptown Records, we had decided then that we wanted to do everything on our own. And I was about 14, 15 when we first got that letter. So when we got that letter, I just said that, I wanted to do my own thing. At first, I just started doing it for our group. I started off with the production, and I said, we're going to make our own beats. Then we're going to make our own raps. And then my partner, he decided that he wanted to, we was turning into men, so he decided that he wanted to do his own thing. So I was kind of just out there by myself, and I had to make some things happen. So that's when I started Novocaine, and I thought I was P. Diddy at the time, had all these artists, and then all of them fell off because I didn't know what I was doing at the time. So, it was just a way for me developing myself. I started branding myself, and I started, trying to figure things out, and, trying to figure out what I was gonna do and how I was gonna do things, and, just learning different aspects of the game. And once I started doing that, it just spearheaded. So once I started making a little name for myself, then more and more artists started coming out. Oh, I rap. Oh, I produce. So then I just started attracting all of these different talents, all of these different people in the game, different independent artists. I just started, gaining all of these people's respect. And then next thing I know, I started developing artists and everything, and just transitioned into travels, and then I started getting into radio. And, after a while, once I decided that it was going to be a full-fledged business, then I said I had to take over every single part of the game so that we would never have to ask anybody for anything. We could just be totally independent. So I just took the time to learn everything. The reason why it's important to have a brand is very important to have a brand, because what you want to do is you want to have something that has you and what you're about on it. What do you stand for? What kind of things would you want to put out into the world? What kind of image do you want people to see? How do people want to see you, view you? How does your image want to, you have to have an image when you're in front of the camera. So your branding from your logo. What does your logo stand for? What does your company name stand for? What does your music stand for? What are you doing? What is your passion? And the only way that people are going to respect your grind and respect what you do is if you have your own brand. So it's very important to brand yourself. When you're walking out in the street and you have your clothes on and you put a certain type of shirt on, that's branding yourself. If you wear certain kind of glasses or you wear certain kind of sneakers or shorts or whatever, that's branding yourself. It's how people are portraying you and how other people are portraying you. So when you have a strong brand, now people are not just looking at you. They're looking at you as an entity. They're looking at you as a commodity. Like Chuck Platinum is a brand. I'm Charles Khalid Cuthbert Sr. That's my name. But Chuck Platinum is my brand. So, where I might be a nerd from 5 to 9, from 9 to 5, I might be the coolest rapper, producer, DJ, whatever you heard. And that's what people respect. People respect a person who has a confident brand that can show, this is what I do. And I'm not following anybody. I'm going with my own situation. I'm leading my own by example, and I'm leading through my examples. So that's why it's very, very important. I advise any artist, anybody who's doing something that's worth doing. If you got a camera, if you have, whatever you do, if you basket weave, make a brand out of it. Make it your own. That's what branding is about, making it your own. The importance of it being, having an independent grind and being independent is the most important thing in the world. The reason why it's so important is because back when we was doing hip hop in the 80s and even the early 90s, people didn't really know about branding. We was trying to figure out how to, get this music out there and how to get it on a bigger scale. But even music back in the 80s, we used to have white label records, and white label records was just records that we would press up and then just put it out there. So it's the same kind of grind. What you want to do is you want to make sure that no matter what, you're in control of everything. I just like being in control of everything. I like being in control of how my music sounds. Who am I gonna go, work with? When you're not independent, you have a whole bunch of people working with you, which is cool. Don't get me wrong. Like, being major is really nothing wrong with being major, but it's a whole different ball game. Like, you, especially in the music industry, when you get a deal, when you get somebody that believes in you, there's certain investments that's going to happen. So people are going to invest in you, and with that investment, there has to be recoupment. That means that the monies that you have to pay back. So that means that there's a certain expectation of you when you have to pay this investment back. When you're independent, you're starting at the grassroots. You're starting at the bottom. You're starting at nothing. Everybody started out independent at one point, but it just depends on how you keep your grind. And the independent grind is not for everybody, because you have to make sure that everything is on you. Everything is on you. If somebody don't like something, it's on you. If there's some kind of, anything that goes on with your company, it's on you. There's countless hours of non-sleep and grinding and going here, and sometimes you got to suffer with your kids, and it's a very hard grind, but it's so fulfilling because everything is you. When you do get successful, whatever your success is, then you'll appreciate it more because you did everything by yourself. Even acquiring a team, you acquired a team and everybody by yourself. So an independent grind is most important. Most importantly, if you're thinking about financial wise, you will pay a lot out, but when it's time for you to receive, everything comes to you. You could break bread with whoever you want to break bread with. You don't have to say, oh, okay, I have to break bread with this person, or I have to break bread with that person. I have to do, everything is all about you. So the grind is hard, but you reap the benefits from being independent.